Black made a move. On e4, pause the video to find out white's response. On c6. Knight e2 check. King f1. White might go for. On c7. On takes d3. Bishop d5 check, and take decisive advantage. On g4 played by black. Black might go for. On g3. King e1. On g2. King d1. On promotes to queen at g1 check, and seized the initiative. Bishop d5 was chosen by white. White intends to play bishop takes e4 check, and increase their advantage significantly. Knight c3 move preferred by black. On c7. White is preparing to play. Bishop takes e4 check. Knight takes e4. On promotes to queen at c8. Knight g3 check. King e1, and take decisive advantage. Knight takes d5 move preferred by black. On promotes to queen at c8. White is preparing to play. Queen f5 check. Knight f4. Queen takes e4 check, and secure a strong hold in the game. Knight f4. White has a decisive advantage. Let's go to the next game. White made a move. King f1. Pause the video and try to predict black's next move. White is looking to play. Pawn promotes to queen at c8, and dominate the board. Queen f5 played by black. Black's idea is to play queen takes f2 mate, and seize the initiative. On f3 move preferred by white. Queen d3 check. King g1. White might go for. Pawn promotes to queen at c8, and secure a strong hold in the game. Queen d4 played by black. King h1. White might go for. Pawn promotes to queen at c8, and put immense pressure on the opponent. On e2 move preferred by black. On g4. Queen d1 check. Rook takes d1. On promotes to queen at ex d1 check. King g2. Black has a strong upper hand. Let's go to the next game. White just played. Rook e6. Pause the video to find out black's response. White is aiming to play rook takes e5, and secure a strong hold in the game. On g2 was chosen by black. Black is preparing to play. On promotes to queen at g1. Rook e7 check. King takes e7. On d6 check. King takes d6. On b4. Queen d1 check. King f2. Queen f1 mate, and take decisive advantage. King f2 move preferred by white. On f3. King g1. Knight d1. Black wants to play. Knight c3. King f2. Knight e2. King takes f3. On promotes to queen at g1, and establish a winning position. Rook takes e5 was chosen by white. On f2 check. King takes g2. Knight e3 check. King f3. On promotes to queen at f1 check. King takes e3. Black has a decisive advantage. Let's go to the next game. White just played. Rook b8. Pause the video to figure out black's next move. On a3. Black is setting up to play. On a2. Rook b7 check. King d8. On f6. Pawn takes f6, and establish a winning position. Rook takes b4 played by white. Knight c5 check. King d5. On a2. King takes c5. Pawn promotes to queen at a1. Black is preparing to play. Queen c3 check. Rook c4. Queen takes d3 and seizes the initiative. Rook d4 move preferred by white. Queen c1 check. King b4. Queen f1. On g5. Queen takes h3. King c3. Black has a decisive advantage. Let's go to the next game. Black played. King e7. Pause the video and try to find white's next move. Black considers playing. Queen f6. King h5. Queen f5 check. King h6. Queen takes f4 check and dominate the board. Pawn g7 was chosen by white. White is preparing to play. Pawn promotes to queen at gx h8. King d7. Queen e5. King c6. Pawn promotes to queen at h8. King b7. Queen hb8 check. King a6. Queen a8 mate and secure a stronghold in the game. Queen c8 was chosen by black. Pawn promotes to queen at h8. Queen e6 check. King g5. Queen f6 check. King g4. Queen e6 check. On f5. White is setting up to play. Pawn takes e6. King d6. Pawn promotes to queen at g8. King d5. Queen c8. Pawn e3. Queen hc3. Pawn e2. Queen 8 c6 mate and take decisive advantage. Queen d5 was chosen by black. Queen f8 check. King d7. Pawn promotes to queen at g8. Queen d1 check. Black's loss is confirmed. Let's go to the next game. White made a move. Rook b7 check. Pause the video to analyze black's next move. King a5. Black is aiming to play knight takes d3 check and put immense pressure on the opponent. Rook takes b4 played by white. Pawn promotes to queen at c1. Black intends to play. Queen d2 check. King g1. Queen takes b4 and establish a winning position. Knight takes c1 played by white. King takes b4. King e3. On g5. King d4. On b2. Knight d3 check. King b3. Black wants to play. Pawn promotes to queen at b1 and secure a stronghold in the game. Knight takes b2 was chosen by white. King takes b2. On g3. Black is clearly ahead. Let's go to the next game. Black made a move. King g5. Pause the video to find out white's response. On h4 check. King f4. Knight e2 check. King e3. Queen takes a8. Bishop d7. Queen d8. Queen c5. Black's idea is to play queen takes d5 check and dominate the board. Knight c3 was chosen by white. White is preparing to play queen takes d7 and secure a stronghold in the game. Queen d4 move preferred by black. Pawn promotes to queen at e8 check. Bishop takes e8. Queen g5 check. King d3. Bishop e4 check. Queen takes e4 check. Knight takes e4. Bishop c6. White is in a commanding position. Let's go to the next game. Black just played. King g5. Pause the video to spot white's next move. Knight d5. King takes h5. Knight takes b6. King g4. Knight d5. On h5. Knight takes b4. King g3. Black considers playing king takes g2 and gain a significant edge. On c5 was chosen by white. King takes g2. On c6. White considers playing, pawn takes b7, and put immense pressure on the opponent. Bishop c8 was chosen by black. On the 5. On h4. On a6. On h3. On a7. On h2. On promotes to queen at a8. On promotes to queen at h1. Queen takes c8. Queen e1 check. White has a strong upper hand. Let's go to the next game. Black played. On b2. Pause the video to find out white's response. Black is looking to play, pawn promotes to queen at b1, and take decisive advantage. On d7 played by white. King g7. On promotes to queen at d8. White is aiming to play. Queen d4 check. King h7. Queen takes b2, and secure a stronghold in the game. On promotes to queen at b1 was chosen by black. Queen d7 check. King h6. On e7. Queen c1 check. King e5. Queen b2 check. King d6. Queen b8 check. Queen c7. Queen b4 check. Queen c5. Queen f4 check. King d7. Queen g4 check. King d8. Queen d1 check. King c7. White is preparing to play. On promotes to queen at e8. Queen g4. Queen h8 check. King g6. Queen g8 check. King h6. Queen takes g4. King h7. Queen ch5 mate, and gain a significant edge. Queen e1 played by black. Queen c6 check. King g5. On promotes to queen at e8. Queen a5 check. Black is struggling to keep up. Let's go to the next game. White made a move. King g1. Pause the video to figure out black's next move. White is looking to play. Queen a1. On h6. Rook takes g7. Knight takes g7. On d4. Rook a4. King f2, and gain a significant edge. On promotes to queen at a1 played by black. Black is looking to play. Queen takes f6. Rook takes f6. Knight d4. On h3. Knight takes c2, and gain a significant edge. On c3 played by white. White might go for. On f5. Queen c1. On takes e6, and take decisive advantage. King g8 played by black. Rook takes g7 check. Knight takes g7. Queen c6. King h8. On g3. Rook b8. Black wants to play. Queen e1. Queen c5. Knight e6. Queen a7. Rook b1. Queen a8 check. King g7. Queen f3. On h6, and establish a winning position. Queen d6 move preferred by white. White is aiming to play queen takes b8 check, and gain a significant edge. Rook c8 played by black. Black is setting up to play queen takes c3, and seize the initiative. On c4 move preferred by white. Knight f5. Black intends to play knight takes d6, and establish a winning position. Queen e6 move preferred by white. Queen d4 check. King h1. White is planning to play queen takes c8 check, and seize the initiative. Rook f8 was chosen by black. Black wants to play. Knight e3. King g1. Knight takes c4 check and seize the initiative. Queen e4 move preferred by white. Queen f2. Queen e5 check. Knight g7. Black considers playing queen takes f1 mate and secure a stronghold in the game. Queen e2 played by white. White's idea is to play queen takes f2 and gain a significant edge. Queen takes e2 played by black. Bishop takes e2. Rook e8. Black considers playing rook takes e2 and establish a winning position. Bishop f3 was chosen by white. Rook e3. Black is looking to play rook takes f3 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Bishop e4 was chosen by white. Rook e2. On c5. Rook c2. On c6. Knight e6. King g1. Knight d4. On f5. Knight takes c6. On g4 black has a decisive advantage. Let's go to the next game.